Hey everybody. So this test is long overdue, but this test was actually inspired or requested by a Redditor. And what the test was supposed to be about is we know that the ball is affected by temperature. And his question was, how much is the temperature of the actual ball affecting distance and speed versus the temperature of what we're playing with outside. So, you know, if the ball is 40 degrees and the temperature outside is 80, is the ball going to go like what you'd expect on an 80-degree day, or is it going to go more like what you'd expect on a 40-degree day, or is it going to do somewhere in between? So, how I thought I would do this is I'm using 4 brand new balls. They're all identical. They are a 2016 Rzn Tour Black, and I've got a temp gun. And I thought what I would do is, I've had for the last 3 days, I've got a ball in the fridge, I've got a ball in the freezer, and I have a warming feature on my oven, so I have that set at 170 degrees, and about a couple hours ago I stuck a ball in the warmer, so it's 170 degrees. So I thought what I would do is I'd hit 3 shots each. I will pause the video after I'm done with 3 shots and go grab another ball, and we'll try to keep them as close to the temperature as they are, as the environment that they're currently in, and let's see if we get any difference. And I'm going to hit a 5-iron, and let's just see what we get. So the first is going to be the room temp ball, and so I don't know if you can see this, but this ball is 78 degrees. So let's hit 3 with the 78 degree ball, and then we will pause the video, go run and grab the ball out of the fridge, repeat, then run and grab the ball out of the freezer, repeat, and then grab it out of the warmer and repeat. Another thing I'll do is I will measure the ball temp at the start and then after the 3 balls, so we can see how much the temperature has changed, just because it's no longer in the environment that created the temperature. It's now in a room temp. So 3 balls with a 5-iron, room temperature. I'm going to change that camera real quick. Okay. And I'm going to try to be accurate with these. I don't know how accurate it'll actually be. I have not been hitting the ball that well as of late. I don't get to player practice much anymore with the infant, and I got bronchial pneumonia last week, and so we'll just see how we do. That was off the toe. First ball wasn't bad. All right. One more. So 2 of those 3 balls were struck really well. I'm going to delete that middle ball and we'll hit 1 more, just because that's not fair. I hit a totally fat shot. Let's hit 1 more. Okay. Now I will do the same with the other balls if we wind up having a ball that was just poor because of me, not because of the shot. Good strike. Bad aim. All right, So that was the room temperature ball. And if we measure the ball after we're done here, it should be basically the same. We have 77.5 degrees. That's what it looks to be. Alright, I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to go get the refrigerated bowl and we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. And this is the refrigerated bowl. And let's get a temperature here of what it actually is. And let's get it out of the plastic. Trying not to touch it too much because I'm going to warm it up. I think it's getting my... Oh, it's ranging. I'm getting everywhere from 54 to 61. So it looks like it's about 58, 59 degrees. Alright, let's hit 3 quick shots with it and see what we get. Good strike. Almost. That was a teeny tiny bit thick, but it wasn't a horrible strike. Yeah, see, I lost. That was probably a 2 mile an hour difference because of my strike quality. Another good ball. Get a little draw on that one. Alright. That was a smash. That's probably good for that one. Let's do a real quick temperature measurement. 57 degrees. So that one's covering just in the upper 50s to almost 60 degrees. So now let's go take a break. Let me change this over real quick to the frozen ball. And we'll be right back and grab the frozen ball. Alright, this ball is out of my freezer. So let's see what we get for temperature on this one. Was 36.5, 36.5 degrees. And I will say I didn't notice any real difference in feeling between the refrigerated ball and the room temp ball. At least it didn't feel like it was like cold or brittle when I struck it. So it felt pretty similar. So that one felt a little different. Don't quite know how to explain it. That was a really good strike, but it feels almost like a dead ball coming off the face. One more, or 2 more, sorry. Same kind of feeling. Another good strike. Let's try and get that hook out of there a little bit. Let's try and get one closer to the target range. Well, there's the hook gone. Another good strike. I just kind of left it open a little bit. That ball, all 3 felt really dead. And you can even, well, you probably can't pick it up on mic, but I can hear it. When you're tapping it with the club, it sounds different. I'm gonna hit one more just because I wasn't a huge fan of that last ball as far as hitting that fade kind of ruined the speed. It's a better ball. All right, let's measure it. Boy, that one had nothing on it. Looks like it is now up to 42 degrees. 40.5, 40, 41.5. So, all right, take a break. We'll go get the hot ball. All right, so this is the hot ball. Let's measure this one. It's like 143 degrees is what this one is. Let's try and hit 3 quick shots here and see what we get. Little fin. This one sounds different than the cold ball. This one feels soft. That probably was not a good ball. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. They're all like that or what? It is weird. This ball feels very, very soft. Almost like an old tour balata. And I don't think it's going anywhere, so. Yeah, that is strange. Just acting dead. Let's see how much the temperature is on this now. It's moving around. It's like 122. No, keeps moving. Well, I had a 122, now it's down to 113. There we go. It's like 133.5. So, this is actually a little strange. I thought the hot ball would have gone a lot longer, but it seems like the hot ball is actually the shortest, maybe because it's too hot. Hit one more with it. Yeah, it just feels dead. All right. Now let's just go back to the original ball. The room temp ball was a number 3. There it is. Room temperature ball. And this ball is like 70 degrees. And I'm just going to call this Rzn Black. I'll hit one more just to kind of show that it's not mid-swing that's changing all the ball speed. That was just a horrible swing. My accuracy is just horrible. Kind of coming down over the top, doing a little of everything. Alright. 3 balls with the room temp again. Let's kind of look at our results here. So we'll start with the first room temperature ball. We averaged 147 miles an hour on ball speed. Remember, club speed doesn't matter here because I don't have HMT, so it's just always a figure of ball speed. So 147.2 miles an hour, 16.4 degrees of launch, 5,700 RPMs of total spin, 47 yards of peak height, average carry distance of 212. And then you move to the refrigerated ball, 147 dropped to 145.3. The launch was lower, so instead of 16.4, it's dropped to 14.8. Spin was up, so instead of 5,700 was 6,400. Lost peak height because I lost speed and launch, and I went from 212 to 205. So it's a 7-yard loss. Go to the frozen ball, and now we're at 139.4 miles an hour, so it's reducing even further. Launch is down to 13.7, so we've lost almost 3 degrees of launch angle just from the ball temperature. Spin is up even more, 6750. Peak height is down yet again, and my carry is now down to 195. So I am down almost 20 yards from the room temperature ball to the ball that was about 40 degrees, a little less than 40 degrees. Let's go back to the hot ball, and we'll kind of average, or the hot ball here. The hot ball, look at that ball speed, dropped even further. Now I'm at 129.2. So the hot ball is even doing even worse with an average of 15 degrees of launch, 4,100 RPMs of spin. So I've lost almost all my spin, and I've got a total carry of 196, which is it's carrying almost the same as the frozen ball, but it's only carrying that far because the spin has dropped so much. And then finally we go back to the room temperature ball, and I'm not swinging it quite as well. And that second ball wasn't that great, but I'm not swinging as well as I was in the first, but it's still now it's back up to 144.2. We're at 15 degrees of launch, so when we were at 16 to beginning with, back to 5,600, which is right around what we were before, and now we're carrying at 209. So, you know, just my swinging between the first ball and the last ball, and I'm trying to rush this. I lost on average. I lost 3 yards on average. So some of it is down to just my swinging. But if you notice, there's something really consistent here, which is just that ball speed is changing consistently. Like here, you can see I've got a 147 back on my last swing, which was closer to my 148 average up in the first section of the balls. But then when you look at the hot ball, I never got above 134. So you're talking over 10 miles an hour of ball speed loss from the ball that was really hot. And then you go to the frozen, and I didn't get past 142, a 141.7. So now I'm down, 6 miles an hour. That is not going to be me alone. That's going to be the difference is what's going on with the ball temperature. So I think it's pretty conclusive that temperature of the ball, in both directions, can affect the distance. And there's probably a sweet spot. Maybe 70 degrees isn't the sweet spot. Maybe it's 80 or 85 degrees or 90 degrees. It's the sweet spot to maximize the ball. But hotter is not always better, as we've just found out. And I was actually really surprised by that. When you go too hot, and granted, no one's going to play when it's 140 degrees out. That's what, I don't even know where it's 140 degrees. Maybe Death Valley at a few times of the year, and that's about it. But 140 degrees is obviously too hot for the ball, so the ball performed worse. So I hope you liked the video and found the results interesting, and I'm sure this will start a debate like everything else, and have fun with the debate, and thank you very much.